We are live, and yes, I'm a little bit early because I like to get set up and make sure everything is running. And today's lesson, or not lesson, but reading is on Enoch chapter 41 to like 79, and I'm going to go through it a lot quicker than I have been because I think you kind of get the idea of the symbology that Enoch uses through all this. Um, oh, and I also wanted to mention that I am getting a microphone, so it just takes a little bit of time to get here and get set up. So I know that some people were not confused. I'm confused today. It's been very smoky and ashes falling down, and it just doesn't seem like it's ever going to let up. So, anyway, just kind of go with it. And they caught some people who have been lighting the fires, and the governor isn't releasing resources which could help put out the fire. So there's a big fight going on in the area, and who knows what will happen. But as we get closer to this election, we're gonna see some crazy stuff. Crazy, I tell ya. Anyway, some people were complaining that they couldn't hear me and the volume was too low. Let's see. I don't know if this will help in any way, shape, or form. I'm gonna turn that all the way up. Oh no. We'll see. And the camera is a little bit closer to me, so see if that works. Until I get a microphone. Alright, so this is Enoch chapter 41, and I'm going to go through it quickly. And we're going to get through this, and then next Monday, we're going to be going over the Book of Revelation, probably like the first two chapters. And now in Revelation, the first chapter is very, very important to understand because of the symbology, because the symbology carries through with all the chapter. So let's see. Gosh, I wish this was bigger. I want to say hi to everybody. Maccabeus off grid and everyday survival. Good to see you. Yeah, I really like Enoch. I've read it through so many times, and it just gets deeper and more interesting, and it just, I don't know, I really think that it should have been in the Bible. Just like, hi Ori, good to see you again too. So, I know, it's just like, it is 3:01. Hi Deb, good to see you. Smoky California. Oh gosh, we're so smoky up here too. All right. And I'm so glad it's Friday. I don't know, this has been kind of a long week. For me, at least. It's just been so weird. All right, here we go. We're going to go through fast, but I will explain things as we go along. I just won't get off track like I was. Okay. All right, chapter 41. And after that, I saw all the secrets of the heavens, and how the kingdom is divided, and how the actions of men are weighed in the balance. So, we saw that there were angels and people who were actually praying for the very elect, and this is what's going to be happening while we're here. My dog is a little sick. If you hear us coughing. You okay, buddy? Yeah. Anyway, so with all that, they're just basically, we're not going to be alone. Azareth, hey. And, okay. And there I saw the mansions of the elect. The very elect are going to have mansions. I saw them. And there's a lot of them. There's on one side and the other side. And it's in the very inner court around the prince's area. And that's where King David will be. But he's got a bigger area. Go figure. We got our own spot though too. And the mansions of the holy, and mine eyes saw that there all the sinners being driven from thence, which deny the name of the Lord of spirits, and being dragged off. This is basically during the millennium. You're going to have kind of what's up in paradise right now, and it's all coming down. So you're getting, and we're all going to be in spiritual bodies. So at that point, there's going to be the bad side, but those who have no chance of redemption because they made the choice of going with Satan. These are the ones that they're talking about being dragged off. And they could not abide because of the punishment which proceeds from the Lord of spirits. And there mine eyes saw the secrets of the lightning. So we saw, the different areas, portals where these came out. And like the most harsh ones are for judgment. And of the thunder and the secrets of the winds, how they are divided to blow over the earth. Now, on the four winds are going to blow when tribulation gets here, when Christ returns. So, when you hear about the four winds, it's what it's talking about. And the secrets of the clouds and dew. And these I saw from whence they proceed that place, and from whence they saturate the dusty earth. And there I saw closed chambers, out of which winds are divided. The chambers of the hail and winds, the chamber of the mist, and the clouds. And the cloud thereof hovers over the earth from the beginning of the world. The clouds. When we had the firmament, which was in Noah's time. So you had a firmament, and earth was watered by the dew. So I'm not sure. And after what happened is that was broken open, and then we got these weather patterns. So I'm not quite sure from the beginning of the world. And I saw the chambers of the sun and moon, whence they proceed, and whether they come again, and their glorious return, and how one is superior to the other. There's different statures in the millennium. The very elect are under Christ. They'll be help ruling and teaching, and then you're going to have the 144 underneath that, and then you're going to have the people in the tribes, in the different tribes, and as they learn, their stature will grow, and by the end of all the millennium, they'll be in different places in eternity. So working up to different areas and what they'll be doing in the eternal kingdom. And their stately orbit, and how they do not leave their orbit, and they did nothing to their orbit, and they take nothing from it, and they keep faith with each other. So everything has a time and season. in accordance with the oath by which they are bound together. And the first at and first the sun goes forth and traverses his path according to the commandment of the Lord of spirits, and the mighty is his name forever and ever. Yahweh. And after that I saw the hidden and the visible path of the moon, and she accomplishes the course of her path in that place by day and by night, the one holding a position opposite to the other before the Lord of spirits. And they give thanks and praise and rest not, for unto them is their thanksgiving rest. For the sun changes oft for a blessing or a curse, and the course of the path of the moon is light to the righteous, and darkness to the sinners in the name of the Lord, who made a separation between the light and darkness, and divided the spirits of men, and strengthened the spirits of the righteous in the name of his righteousness. For no angel hinders, and no power is able to hinder. For he appoints a judge for them all, and he judges them all before him. So the ultimate judgment is the great white throne judgment. And we'll get through. See, hi Daniel. Let's see. I have to check this now because I can only go to a certain point and it won't let me see anymore. So, okay. Chapter 42. Wisdom found no place where she might dwell. Then a dwelling place was assigned her in the heavens. Wisdom went forth to make her dwelling among the children of men, and found no dwelling place. Wisdom returned to her place and took her seat among the angels, and in righteousness went forth from her chambers. Whom she sought not, she found, and dwelt with them, as rain in a desert and dew on a thirsty land. So wisdom is God. And so I think at this point, they're talking more about the how we were brought down to the flesh age, to this appointed time to get through. We're given wisdom through the Holy Spirit. So, and usually, well, evil people just don't seek it. Okay, chapter 43. And I saw other lightnings and the stars of heaven, and I saw how he called them all by their names, and they hearkened unto him. And I saw how they are weighed in a righteous balance, according to their proportions of light. I saw the width of their spaces in the day of their appearing, and how their revolution produces lightning. And I saw their revolution according to the number of the angels. See, it is thought that everybody has a star representing them. And how they keep faith with each other. And I asked the angel who went with me, who showed me what was hidden, what are these? And he said to me, the Lord of spirits hath showed thee their parabolic meaning, literally their parable. These are the names of the holy who dwell on the earth and believe in the name of the Lord of spirits forever and ever. So these stars are the righteous. Chapter 44. Also another phenomena I saw in regard to the lightnings, how some of the stars arise and become lightnings and cannot part with their new form. Also I saw another phenomena in regarding to the lightnings, how some of the stars arise and become lightnings and cannot, if it's talking about people in that we are risen when we die. There's a lot of mystery in this, but it's very intriguing. Chapter 45. I don't know if anybody has an idea about that. Let's see. Anybody have an idea about that last one? Do do do. Do 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 do. I think I saw someone new in there. Let's see. Hi, Album. Glad you're here. Let's see. Can you read it again? Yes. Also, another phenomenon I saw in regard to the lightnings, how some of the stars arise and become lightnings and cannot part with their new form. Well, we can't part with their new form. Maybe what it could be is like when Christ returns, the very elect are in their they just are changed into their immortal bodies, and therefore there is no changing it. I think that might be it, but I don't know. Let's see who else has some ideas about that. Chapter 45. And this is the second parable concerning those who deny the name of the dwelling of the holy ones and the Lord of spirits. And into the heaven they shall not ascend, and on the earth they shall not come. Such shall be a lot of the lot of the sinners who have denied the name of the Lord of spirits, who are thus preserved for the day of suffering and tribulation. On that day, mine elect one, that's Christ, shall sit on the throne of glory and shall try their works. And their places of rest shall be innumerable, and their souls shall grow strong within them when they see mine elect ones, and those who have called upon my glory's name. Then will I cause mine elect one to dwell among them, and I will transform the heaven and make it an eternal blessing and light. And I will transform the earth and make it a blessing. And I will cause mine elect ones, the very elect and the 144,000, and all those who made it through, to dwell upon it. But the sinners and evildoers shall not set foot thereon. So on Christ's return, those who went with Satan they're just waiting for judgment. They won't be able to participate in the millennium. There's more. For I have provided and satisfied with peace my righteous ones, and have caused them to dwell before me. But for the sinners there is judgment impending with me, says God speaking, so that I shall destroy them from the face of the earth. Yeah, God is going to take away all evil rudiment and destroy it. So, after the millennium and the great white throne judgment, God himself is coming down to earth to live amongst us. And so therefore we won't need the temple anymore. Yeah. Thanks, Ori. Satan the morning star fell as lightning. Some shall use be. Yep. All right. Chapter 46. And there I saw one who had a head of days. One who had a head of days, and his head was white like wool. Head of days, so that might mean wisdom. And with him was another being whose countenance had the appearance of a man, and his face was full of graciousness, like one of the holy angels. And I asked the angel who went with me, and showed me all the hidden things concerning that Son of Man, who he was, and whence he was, and why he went with the head of days. And he answered and said unto me, This is the Son of Man, whom hath righteousness, with whom dwelleth righteousness, and who revealeth all the treasures of that which is hidden, because the Lord of spirits hath chosen him, and whose lot hath the preeminence before the Lord of spirits in uprightness forever. So the head of days, I believe, is God himself. And then with the Son, with Yeshua. And this Son of Man whom thou hast seen shall rise up the kings and the mighty from their seats, and the strong from their thrones, and shall loosen the reins of the strong, and break the teeth of the sinners. And he shall put down the kings from their thrones and kingdoms, because they do not extol and praise him, nor humbly acknowledge whence the kingdom was bestowed upon them. And he shall put, and he shall put down the countenance of the strong, and shall fill them with shame, and darkness shall be their dwelling, and worms shall be their bed, and they shall have no hope of rising from their beds, because they do not extol the name of the Lord of spirits. And these are they who judge the stars of heaven, and raise their hands against the Most High, and tread upon the earth, and dwell upon it, and all their deeds manifest unrighteousness, and their power rests upon their riches, and their faith is in the gods which they have made with their hands, and they deny the name of the Lord of spirits, and they persecute the house of his congregation. So the church, their Israel, and anybody else that's a believer, and the faithful who hang upon the name of the Lord of spirits. It's coming. So if you see, these rich people, and you think that they're getting away with something, they aren't. Judgment is coming. And check this again. Or they are already damned to the lake of fire. Yeah. Oh, sorry. Got to. Let's see. Are they getting out of that gulf at the great white throne judgment? Yeah. Everybody will be judged at that time. Like they had keeps enough and did not get to part. Yeah. They'll be in that holding spot. The evil. If they had heard the truth, and they will hear the truth, right before Christ's return, when the 7,000 are allowing the Holy Spirit to speak through them, they know the truth. They aren't able to be redeemed. That was their time to decide. They heard the truth and they denied it. So many people haven't had the opportunity to hear it because of all the traditions of men and false doctrine and teachings. And so God isn't going to say, oh, because you accidentally, without knowing, worship Satan, you thought it honestly was his return. And he's going to give them the opportunity to learn the truth, and at the end they'll just be tested before the great white throne judgment. But at the great white throne judgment, everybody gets tested. the good and bad and the ugly. Everybody. Let's see. Well, they aren't already damned in the lake of fire. They have to, like the fallen angels, they have their thing that they have to do with Satan. Satan is already damned. The fallen angels are basically damned as well, but they have to do this one act to basically test everybody on earth right now. But they are, and there'll be a lot of people with Satan who will be damned when Christ returns. Oh, dang it. Okay. So, all right. So, chapter 47. Did I read this? And in those days let me start this again. And in those days shall have ascended the prayer of the righteous, and the blood of the righteous from the earth before the Lord of spirits. In those days the holy ones who dwell above in the heavens shall unite with one voice, and supplicate, and pray, and praise, and give thanks, and bless the name of the Lord of spirits on behalf of the blood of the righteous which has been shed. So in Revelation it talks about how they're up there and they get their robe, their white robe, and they're asking, hey, how long is this going to be? Well, the 7,000 have to do their last part, and after that's done, then Christ returns. But that's what it's talking about. And that the prayer of the righteous may not be in vain before the Lord of spirits. He's got a big, huge vial waiting to pour down the plagues and put this on all the evil people, that judgment may be done unto them, and that they may not have to suffer forever. In those days I saw the head of days, when he seated himself upon the throne of his glory, and the books of the living were opened before him, and all his host which is in heaven above, and his counselors stood before him. And the hearts of the holy were filled with joy, because the number of the righteous had been offered, and the prayer of the righteous had been heard, and the blood of the righteous had been required before the Lord of spirits. So when we go through the book of Revelation, it goes through a little bit more with the trumps and the vials and everything. So it'll explain it a little bit more, but basically the two witnesses will be administering that. Okay, chapter 48. And in that place I saw the fountain of righteousness, which was inexhaustible, and around it were many fountains of wisdom, and all the thirsty drank of them, and were filled with wisdom, and their dwellings were with the righteous and holy elect. And at that hour that Son of Man was named in the presence of the Lord of spirits, and his name before the head of days, yea, before the sun and the signs were created, before the stars of heaven were made. His name was named before the Lord of spirits. He shall be a staff to the righteous, whereon to stay themselves and not fall. And he shall be the light of the Gentiles, and the hope of those who are troubled of heart. All who dwell on earth shall fall down and worship before him, and will praise and bless with and celebrate with song of the Lord of spirits. And for this reason hath he been chosen and hidden before him, before the creation of the world, and forevermore. And the wisdom of the Lord of spirits hath revealed him to the holy and righteous. For he hath preserved the lot of the righteous, because they have hated and despised this world of unrighteousness, and have hated all its works and ways in the name of the Lord of spirits. For in his name they are saved. That's Yeshua. And according to his good pleasure hath he been in regard of their life. In those days, downcast in countenance shall the kings of the earth have become, and the strong who possess the land because of the works of their hands. For on the day of their anguish and affliction, they shall not be able to save themselves. So on Christ's return, that's it. It is so done. And I will give them over into the hands of mine elect. And this is 7,000. As straw in the fire, so shall they burn before the face of the holy. As lead in the water shall they sink before the face of righteous, and no trace of them shall any more be found. So on the great white throne judgment, as they're, that they'll be blotted out of existence. Their names won't even be remembered. And on the day of their affliction there shall be rest on the earth, and before them they shall fall and not rise again. So all the evil is gone, and there shall be no one to take them with his hands and raise them up. For they have denied the Lord of spirits and his anointed. The name of the Lord of spirits be blessed. So it's good. But God has to basically test everybody to make sure that they can get into eternity. And that's with Satan's rebellion in the first earth age. And we're in the redemption plan right now. It's the flesh age will soon be over with Christ's return. So getting through the millennium, get that over with, and then we have eternity, and everything is set back to the way it was in the first earth age, rejuvenated, and no evil. No evil this time. Chapter 49. For wisdom is poured out like water, and glory faileth not before him forevermore. For he is mighty in all the secrets of righteousness, and unrighteousness shall disappear as a shadow. Everything's going to be gone and have no continuance, because the elect one standeth before the Lord of spirits, and his glory is forever and ever, and his might unto all generations. And in him dwells the spirit of wisdom, and the spirit which gives insight, and the spirit of understanding and of might, and the spirit of those who have fallen asleep in righteousness. In righteousness. And he shall judge the secret things, and none shall be able to utter a lying word before him, for he is the elect one before the Lord of spirits, according to his good pleasure. So if you're, not in the book of life, you're going to have some problems. Chapter 50. And in those days a change shall take place for the holy and elect, and the light of day shall abide upon them, and glory and honor shall turn to the holy. On the day of affliction, on which evil shall have been treasured up against the sinners, and the righteous shall be victorious in the name of the Lord of spirits, and he will cause the others to witness this, that they may repent and forgo the works of their hands. They shall have no honor through the name of the Lord of spirits, yet through his name shall they be saved, and the Lord of spirits will have compassion on them, for his compassion is great. So, it's just basically saying, well, it finishes, and then I'll explain. And he is righteous also in his judgment, and in the presence of his glory unrighteousness also shall not maintain itself. At his judgment the unrepentant shall perish before him, and from henceforth I will have no mercy on them, saith the Lord. So, after the millennium, and Satan is loosed one more time to test those who got out of the Gulf and or ended up worshiping Satan. They're still considered the dead because they have mortal spirits. But at that point, after the testing, when Satan comes out again, if they make it through then they become immortal and changed, and the wicked and evil die at that point in the great white throne judgment. So, and in those days shall the earth also give back that which has been entrusted to it, and Sheol also shall give back that which has received, and hell shall give back that which it owes. For in those days the elect one shall arise, and he shall choose the righteous and holy from among them. So it's the division. The good will be judged for the good things, and they'll be given crowns and things like that. But the bad, everything's going to be revealed and opened up, and then they'll be tossed into the pit and destroyed from within out. For the day has drawn nigh that they should be saved, and the elect one shall in those days sit on my throne, and his mouth shall pour forth all the secrets of wisdom and counsel. For the Lord of spirits hath given them to him, and hath glorified him. And in those days shall the mountains leap like rams, and the hills also shall skip like lambs satisfied with milk. And the faces of all the angels in heaven shall be lighted up with joy, and the earth shall rejoice, and the righteous shall dwell upon it, and the elect shall walk within. Once you get rid of all the evil, that's going to be an awesome place. And after those days in that place where I had seen all the visions of that which is hidden, for I had been carried off in a whirlwind, and they had borne me towards the west. There mine eyes saw all the secret things of heaven, that shall be a mountain of iron, and a mountain of copper, and a mountain of silver, and a mountain of gold, and a mountain of soft metal, and a mountain of lead. And I asked the angel who went with me, saying, What things are these which I have seen in secret? And he said unto me, All these things which thou hast seen shall serve the dominion of his anointed, that he may be potent and mighty on the earth. And that angel of peace answered, saying unto me, Wait a little, and there shall be revealed unto thee all the secret things which surround the Lord of spirits. And these mountains which thine eyes have seen, the mountains of iron, and the mountain of copper, and the mountain of silver, and the mountain of gold, and the mountain of soft metal, and the mountain of lead, all these shall be in the presence of the elect one as wax before the fire, and like the water which streams down from above upon those mountains, and they shall become powerless before his feet. And it shall come to pass in those days that none shall be saved, either by gold or by silver, and none be able to escape. And there shall be no iron for war, nor shall one clothe oneself with a breastplate. Bronze shall be of no service, and tin shall be of no service, shall not be esteemed, and lead shall not be desired. And all these things shall be denied and destroyed from the surface of the earth, when the elect one shall appear before the face of the Lord of Spirits. So if I'm reading this right, the mountains are the nations, the different nations, and all the evil that they have used against each other for war, that's all going to be gone. So, and for the in the eternity. Let's see, chapter 53. I'm going to check this again. Okay. All right. So, chapter 53. There mine eyes saw a deep valley with open mouths, and all who dwell on the earth and sea and islands shall bring to him gifts and presents and tokens of homage. But that deep valley shall not become full. In their hands commit lawless deeds, and the sinners devour all whom they lawlessly oppress. See, right now, we are just feeling the beginning of the time of sorrow and the oppression. Yet the sinners shall be destroyed before the face of the Lord of Spirits. So, at this point, just know where their destiny lies, and they shall be banished from off the face of his earth, and they shall perish forever and ever at the great white throne judgment. Gone. For I saw all the angels of punishment abiding there and preparing all the instruments of Satan. And I asked the angel of peace who went with me, for whom are they preparing these instruments? And he said unto me, they prepared these for the kings and the mighty of this earth, that they may thereby be destroyed. And after this, the righteous and elect one shall cause the house of his congregations to appear. Henceforth they shall be no more hindered in the name of the Lord of Spirits. And these mountains shall not stand as the earth before his righteousness, but the hills shall be as a fountain of water, and the righteous shall have rest from the oppression of sinners. So even during the millennium, we're not going to have any types of oppression or anything. It's going to be Christ as the king, ruler, priest, and even in the nations, they'll have their own ethnos or their own kings and queens of the ethnos, and they'll come into the millennium, into the temple, and they'll be praising God, and it's going to be very interesting. Everything will have its place and divided up, and we'll have festivals and just a time of teaching and discipline. And then after, everything's going to be set back to where it was in the first earth age. So, except for God is making sure that no evil, so that no evil is going to, that this will ever happen again. So, and I'll be glad, that's for sure. Chapter 54. And I looked and turned to another part of the earth, and saw there a deep valley with burning fire. And they brought the kings and the mighty, and began to cast them into this deep valley. And there mine eyes saw how they made these their instruments, iron, chains of immeasurable weight. And I asked the angel of peace who went with me, saying, for whom are these chains being prepared? And he said unto me, these are being prepared for the host of Azazel, so that they may take them and cast them into the abyss of complete condemnation. And they shall cover their jaws with rough stones, as the Lord of Spirits commanded. And Michael and Gabriel and Raphael and Phanuel shall take hold of them on that great day, and cast them on that day into the burning furnace, that the Lord of spirits may take vengeance on them for their unrighteousness in becoming subject to Satan, and leading astray those who dwell on earth. And those in those days shall punishment come from the Lord of spirits, and he will open all the chambers of water which are above the heavens, and the fountains which are beneath the earth. And all the water shall be joined with the waters. That which is above the heavens is the masculine, and the water which is beneath the earth is feminine. And they shall destroy all who dwell on the earth, and those who dwell under the ends of heaven. And when they have recognized their unrighteousness, which they wrought on the earth, then they shall perish. This is talking about God's judgment coming down on Azazel for leading people's man down here astray. And with the water, that is when at Noah's judgment time. I think it's talking about that, but in the end, that God is going to destroy them at the great white throne judgment. So yeah, I don't know. Okay. All right. Let's see. So that they may. Where did I end off at? Okay. So, and Michael and Gabriel and Raphael shall take hold of them in that great day, and cast them into the burning furnace. So that's the great white throne judgment, that the Lord of spirits may take vengeance on them for their unrighteousness in becoming subject to Satan, and leading astray those who dwell on earth. And in those days shall punishment come from the Lord of spirits, and he will open all the chambers of water which are above the heavens, and the fountains with the waters. That which is above the heavens is masculine. Yeah, so I think at that point is Noah's flood. See, the Bible can slip into the millennium very quickly, or come down to this dispensation time, or go to eternity, or go at the first earth age. So when you start identifying that, that's very helpful. So, and they shall destroy all who dwell on the earth, and those who dwell under the ends of heaven. And when they have recognized their unrighteousness, which they have wrought on the earth, then by these shall they perish. So at that point, everything's going to get taken care of, and the righteous and those who made it through will get their rewards, and the evil will get their reward, which is death. Let's see, what's this? Christ said, oh, hi, Mayank. I hope I said your name right. Said you should have not adulterous eyes, not even the eyes. I'm 25, visiting USA, just shocked. Yeah, the sex culture and even the sex trafficking. And it's, I don't know, we're going to see a lot of judgment. But we don't have to fear it. It's just, I don't know. I know in certain countries they allow prostitution. Where is that at? Somebody probably knows that. It's like over in England, they even have, or by England, but they've legalized drugs and all sorts of stuff. I don't know how that could be helpful, but legalized prostitution too. And prostitution can also be considered um, worshiping an idol. You could worship anything basically that will keep your eyes off God. So if you're worshiping your house and you put everything into your house, that's all you got. You don't have God or the money that you make in your job. So you have to really balance. And God is going to give you whatever you need. And, as far as these rich people, they better enjoy it now because that's all they're getting. In the afterlife, that, well, you read it and you see where they're destined. Okay, chapter 55. And after that, the head of days repented and said, in vain have I destroyed all who dwell on the earth. And he sware by his great name, henceforth I will not do so to all who dwell on earth, and I will set a sign in the heaven. Yeah, so that was basically Noah and the flood. And this shall be a pledge of good faith between me and them forever. So the rainbow, so long as heaven is above the earth. And this is in accordance with my command, when I have desired to take hold of them by the hand of the angels on the day of tribulation and pain because of this. I will cause my chastisement and my wrath to abide upon them. So when the two witnesses come here, they're going to be setting out the plagues. It's not on the good people, on God's people, it's on these evil people. Saith God, the Lord of spirits, yea, mighty kings who dwell on the earth, ye shall have to behold mine elect one. That is Christ on his return. How he sits on the throne of glory and judges Azazel and all his associates and all his host in the name of the Lord of spirits. So we'll find this out as we read the book of Revelation, but on Christ's return, he's going to pluck the 7,000 out first and cast them out. Then, the hail and whatever else coming down will be out of there, but it's all on these bad, evil, wicked people. Okay, chapter 56. And I saw there the host of the angels of punishment going, and they held scourges and chains of iron and bronze. And I asked the angel of peace who went with me, saying, to whom are these who hold the scourges going? And he said unto me, to their elect and beloved ones, that they may cast into the chasm of the abyss of the valley, and then that valley shall be filled with their elect and beloved, and the days of their lives shall be at an end, and the days of their leading astray shall not thenceforward be reckoned. And in those days the angels shall return and hurl themselves to the east upon the Parthians and Medes. They shall stir up the kings, or the Medes, they shall stir up the kings, so that a spirit of unrest shall come upon them, and they shall rouse them from their thrones, that they may break forth as lions from their lairs, and as hungry wolves among their flock, and they shall go up and tread underfoot the land of his elect ones. and the land of his elect ones shall be before them a threshing floor and highway. But the city of my righteousness shall be a hindrance to their horses, and they shall begin to fight among themselves, and their right hand shall be strong against themselves. And a man shall not know his brother, nor a son his father or his mother, till there be no number of the corpses. I gotta turn this up. Through their slaughter, and their punishment be not in vain. In those days Sheol shall open its jaws, and they shall be swallowed up therein, and their destruction shall be at an end. Sheol shall devour the sinners in the presence of the elect. So it's talking about, I think this has different meanings. You shall stir up the king so that a spirit of... Remember earlier when we were reading about how the angels are going to have to see their prodigy kill each other. You know, they're going to like unrest against each other. And I think that applies to that, having to see like their son or daughter die. But also remember that we're going in the end times, mother against daughter, all that. It's going to be because of the wickedness, and they are believing that that is the return of Christ. We will know that isn't. So it's like mother against daughter and set you up to death. It's not death, it's Satan himself who's claiming to be God, who isn't, but you're used as a testimony. The Holy Spirit speaking through you. And in the end of all this, all that evilness is going to be up in flames, fire, smoke. And the righteous will get through it. Sorry, this smoke is like it's just like it's like I'm kind of nasally. I'm really sorry. It just is really bad. The two witnesses, and we'll go over that when we go into Revelation, but it is, you have three. You have three people that never died, and you are appointed to die once here and then go up to heaven, either come down, whatever. But you will, there's Elijah who never died. There is Moses who never died. And then there is Enoch who never died. It is thought that it's going to be Moses and Elijah, the lawgiver and the preacher, those together as the two witnesses. And Enoch will cause the wound to the beast head, the financial system, the religious system. He'll be like around in the Vatican area. And it does say a place in the Bible that these are the two. Let's see. for knowledge. Again, I'm glad you're here. If I don't see you guys, I'm really sorry. But welcome everybody. Okay, chapter 57. And it came to pass after this that I saw another host of wagons and men riding thereon, and coming on the west, on the east, and from the west to the south. And the noise of their wagons was heard. And when this turmoil took place, the holy ones from heaven remarked it. And the pillars of the earth were moved from their place, and the sound thereof was heard from one end of heaven to the other in one day. And they shall all fall down and worship the Lord of spirits. And this is the end of the second parable. Okay, so on Christ's return, he's coming down. All the ones that are up with him right now who have already died and risen, they're coming down with him. So, and everyone who is alive at that point, well, bend a knee, even these evil people. Okay, chapter 58. And I began to speak the third parable concerning the righteous and the elect. Blessed are ye, ye righteous and elect, for glorious shall be your lot, and the righteous shall be in the light of the sun, and the elect in the light of eternal life. And the days of their life shall be unending, and the days of the holy without number. And they shall seek the light and find righteousness with the Lord of spirits. There shall be peace to the righteous in the name of the eternal Lord. These are the predestined. And after this it shall be said to the holy in heaven, that they should seek out the secrets of righteousness, the heritage of faith, for it has become bright as the sun upon earth, and the darkness is past, and there shall be light that never endeth. So there's going to be, like during the millennium, we will not have the sun or the moon any longer. All that is gone. We'll be in spiritual bodies, and also at the time that the light will come from God. But he'll be above. It's like this. He'll be above here. The millennium down here. The temple itself is to praise God, but he'll be up here. And then once the millennium is over, great white throne judgment, and he's going to come down, renew, rejuvenate everything. Okay, and to limit, literally number of days they shall not come. So that's eternity. For the darkness shall have been destroyed. And that also talks about evil rudiments, any evil or thing that offends, and the light established before the Lord of spirits, and the light of uprightness established forever before the Lord of spirits. Okay, chapter 59. In those days mine eyes saw the secrets of the lightnings, and of the lights, and the judgments they execute, literally their judgment. And they lighten for a blessing or a curse, as the Lord of spirits willeth. And there I saw the secrets of the thunder, and how when it resounds above in the heaven, the sound thereof is heard. And he causes me to see the judgments executed on earth, whether they be well-being and blessings, or for a curse, according to the word of the Lord of spirits. And after that, all the secrets of lights and lightnings were shown to me, and they were light for blessings, for blessing and for satisfying. So, the throne of God, there's thunder and lightning, and he's the judge. So it's basically saying on the judgment, God can either bless you or curse you, and you should be on the good side. I would hate to be under judgment of God. That would be bad. Okay, here we go. Chapter 60. A fragment of the Book of Noah. In the year 500, in the 7th month, on the 14th day of the month, in the life of Enoch, in that parable I saw how a mighty quaking made the heaven of heavens to quake, and the most of the Most High, and the angels, 1,000 thousands and 10,000 times 10,000, were disquieted with a great disquiet. And the head of days sat on the throne of his glory, and the angels and the righteous stood around him. So that's the throne of God, and God sitting. And a great trembling seized me, and fear took hold of me, and my loins gave way and dissolved where my reins, and I fell upon my face. And Michael sent another angel from among the holy ones, and it raised me up. And when he had raised me up, my spirit returned, for I had not been able to endure the look of this host, and the commotion, and the quaking of the heaven. And Michael said unto me, Why art thou disquieted with such a vision? Until this day lasted, the day of his mercy, and he hath been merciful and long-suffering toward those who dwell on the earth. And when the day and the power and the punishment and the judgment come, which the Lord of spirits hath prepared for those who worship not the righteous law, and for those who deny the righteous of judgment, and for those who take his name in vain, that day is prepared for the elect a covenant. So he's promising you, he's going to end all this for us. But for sinners, an inquisition, when the punishment of the Lord of spirits shall rest upon them, it shall rest in order that the punishment of the Lord of spirits may not come in vain. And it shall slay the children with their mothers, and the children with their fathers. Afterwards the judgment shall take place according to his mercy and his patience. And on that day were two monsters parted. This is interesting. A female monster named Leviathan, to dwell in the abysses of the ocean, over the fountains of the waters. But the male is named Behemoth, who occupied with his breast a waste wilderness named Duodane on the east. Gotta turn the page. On the east of the garden, where the elect and righteous dwell. So we've heard of Leviathan before from the Bible. He's in the abysses of the ocean, covered in water. And then we have a behemoth who is in the wilderness, a wilderness named Duodane, on the east of the garden where the elect and righteous dwell. Okay. Where my grandfather was taken up, the seventh of Adam, the first man whom the Lord of spirits created. And I besought the other angel that he should show me the might of those monsters. I'd like to see really what that word is in the original. But how they were parted on one day and cast, the one into the abyss of the sea, and the other into the dry land of the wilderness. And he said to me, Thou son of man, herein thou dost seek to know what is hidden. And the other angel who went with me and showed me what was hidden told me what is first and last in the heaven and the height, and beneath the earth in the depth, and at the ends of the heaven, and on the foundation of heaven, and the chambers of the winds, and how the winds are divided, and how they are weighed, and how the portals of the winds are reckoned, each according to the power of the wind, and the power of the lights of the moon, and according to the power that is fitting, and the divisions of the stars according to their names, and how all the divisions are divided, and the thunders according to the places where they fall, and all the divisions that are made among the lightnings, that it may lighten, and their host, that they may at once obey. For the thunder has places of rest, which are assigned to it, while it is waiting for its peal, and the thunder and the lightnings are inseparable. And although not one and undivided, they both go together through the Spirit and separate not. For when the lightning lightens, the thunder utters its voice, and the Spirit enforces a pause during the peal and divides equally between them. For the treasury of their peals is like the sand, and each one of them has its peals is held in with a bridle and turned back by the power of the Spirit and pushed forward according to the many quarters of the earth. And the spirit of the sea is masculine and strong, and according to the might of his strength, he draws it back with the rain. And in like manner, it is driven forward and disperses amid all the mountains of the earth. And the spirit of the hoarfrost is his own angel, and the spirit of the hail is a good angel, and the spirit of the snow has forsaken his chambers on account of his strength. There is a special spirit therein, and that which ascends from it is like smoke, and its name is frost. And the spirit of the mist is not united with them in their chambers, but it has a special chamber, for its course is glorious, both in light and in darkness, and in winter and in summer, and its chambers is an angel. And the spirit of the dew has its dwelling at the end of heaven, and is connected with the chambers of the rain. And its course is in winter and summer, and its clouds and the clouds of the mist are connected. And the one gives to the other. And when the spirit of the rain goes forth from its chamber, the angels come and open the chamber and lead it out. And when it is diffused over the whole earth, it unites with the water on the earth. And whensoever it unites with the water on the earth, for some waters are for those who dwell on the earth, for they are nourishment for the earth from the Most High who is in heaven. So it's talking about, in the last video, the latter day rain. He's pouring that down now. And it comes in phases as we get further into this knowledge, wisdom, understanding. We're all going to, he's preparing us. So, therefore there is a measure for the rain, and the angels take it in charge. And these things I saw towards the garden of righteousness, and the angel of peace, who was with me, said to me, these two monsters prepared conformably to the greatness of God shall feed. So they feed each other, basically. I don't know. Oh, I don't have a call-in yet. I'm setting up a group so we can have, so we can all talk and see COVID-19 hoax so that we can all talk and we can hear each other, and it won't be on this. I'm trying to get like Google Chats And it's really easy, but I'll have to like do a video on that just so that you understand how to get in. And it's really easy, but you need to give me your email. Um, this is my email address. It's K Waters, and then I'll just write it down. And just get a hold of me if you want. I gotta get a pen. Hold on. Okay. So if you want to get into the group, then just contact me. Okay. Let me set this up. And that's my email address. So, and then I'll put you on the mailing list and everything like that, and you know, for updates and things like that, and when we're gonna get this going. I'm hoping by October. And this is where we're going to have the really, really deep studies, and everybody's gonna get to talk and kind of be like the Brady Bunch, where you can see everybody and talk, and it'll be nice. So, but I don't have a call in now. It gets, it's just kind of complicated, and you have to set up a different streaming type. You have to set up streaming, and I don't have streaming. Yeah. It's just, I just want to go to the next platform, and then everybody can, you know, it'll just be better. You know, everybody's voice will be heard, and it's going to be nice. Okay, chapter 61. And I saw in those days how long cords were given to those angels, and they took to themselves wings and flew, and they went towards the north. And I asked the angel, saying unto him, why have those angels taken these cords and gone off? And he said unto me, they have gone to measure. When we get into Revelation, you'll really see a lot of measuring. And the angels who went with me said unto me, these shall bring the measures of the righteous, and the rope of the righteous to the righteous, that they may stay themselves on the name of the Lord of spirits forever and ever. The elect shall begin to dwell with the elect, and those who are measured, which shall be given to faith, and which shall strengthen the righteousness. And these measures shall reveal all the secrets of the depths of the earth, and those who have been destroyed by the desert, and those who have been devoured by the beast, and those who have been devoured by the fish of the sea, that they may return and stay themselves on the day of the elect one. For none shall be destroyed before the Lord of spirits, and none can be destroyed. So there often the symbology of the sea means the sea of people. So it could be that they're martyred, and how, you know, all the way through history. And all who dwell above in the heaven received a command and power and one voice and one light unto fire. And that one, with their first words, they blessed and extolled and lauded with wisdom, and they were wise in utterance. and in the spirit of life. And the Lord of spirits placed the elect one on the throne of glory, and he shall judge all the works of the holy above in the heaven, and in the balance shall their deeds be weighed. So I told you, the great white throne judgment, you're gonna get your rewards. There's crowns. You'll see that. You'll learn all about that in Revelation chapter 2 and 3. It talks about the churches and what the very elect will get as a reward. So it'll be exciting. Verse 62. I don't know, guys. Is this going too far? Been going for like 80 minutes. You know what? I really want to start on Monday, so I think what I'm going to do is on Sunday, I'm going to get on at 3 again, and we're going to finish this chapter 62 to 79. It won't be very long, but you guys can still listen? Are you sure? Okay, let's do it then. I'm going to just check this. All right, let's do it. Okay, chapter 62. Thus the Lord commanded the kings and the mighty and the exalted, and those who dwell on earth, and said, Open your eyes and lift up your horns, if ye are able to recognize the elect one. And the Lord of spirits seated him on the throne of his glory, and the spirit of righteousness was poured out upon him. And the word of his mouth slays all the sinners, and all the unrighteous are destroyed from before his face. And there shall stand up in that day all the kings and the mighty, at the great white throne judgment, and the exalted, and those who hold the earth, and they shall see and recognize how he sits on the throne of his glory, and righteousness is judged before him, and no lying word is spoken before him, because God knows all. He's a heart knower, so you can't put anything past him. I mean, he knows. You can't fool him or anything. Then shall pain come upon them as on a woman in travail, and she has pain in bringing forth when her child enters the mouth of the womb. And she has pain in bringing forth, and one portion of them shall look on the other, and they shall be terrified, and they shall be downcast of countenance, and pain shall seize them when they see that Son of Man sitting on the throne of his glory. So when, it's Satan's tribulation, and they're going to be getting all the plagues and everything else. But when they see the Son of Man come down, they're gonna realize that that is God. And the kings and the mighty and all who possess the earth shall bless and glorify and extol him who rules over, who is hidden. So everybody's going to know that's the Son of Man. That's Christ's return, which is completely different when Satan comes here claiming to be God. He has to convince people, doing all these, pulling lightning down from heaven and all that. Everybody will know when the true Christ returns. For from the beginning the Son of Man was hidden, and the Most High preserved him in the presence of his mighty, and revealed him to the elect. Predestined. You're predestined to do this moment in time, to allow the Holy Spirit to be spoken through you as a vessel. And the congregation of the elect and holy shall be sown, And all the elect shall stand before him on that day, and all the kings and the mighty and the exalted, and those who rule the earth shall fall down before him on their faces, and worship and set their hope upon that Son of Man, and petition him and supplicate for mercy at his hands. Nevertheless, the Lord of spirits will so press them that they shall hastily go from his presence, and their faces shall be filled with shame. I just think if you ended up worshiping Satan and then, of course, repenting, but that shame, this is why um, they they pray for the rocks to come down on them, because they're so upset about that. So it's very important to just learn all you can. And the darkness grows deeper on their faces, and he will deliver them to the angels for punishment, to execute vengeance on them, because they have oppressed his children and his elect. And they shall be a spectacle for the righteous and for his elect. They shall rejoice over them, because the wrath of the Lord's Spirit resteth upon them, and his word is drunk with blood. And the righteous and the elect shall be saved on that day, and they shall never thenceforward see the face of the sinners and the unrighteous. And the Lord of spirits will abide over them, and with that the Son of Man shall they eat and lie down and rise up forever and ever. And the righteous and the elect shall have risen from the earth and cease to be of down countenance. That's talking about you're going to be changed into your immortal spirit. And your inheritance is God's inheritance. Everything that you see will be yours. It was a very hard concept for me to understand when Yeshua was telling me this, but it's literally everything. And they shall have been clothed with garments of glory, and your clothes are made out of your righteous deeds here on earth. Some people will have very thin ones, some people will have thick ones, depending on your righteous deeds. And these shall be the garments of life from the Lord of spirits, and your garments shall not grow old, nor your glory pass away before the Lord of spirits. And it's talking about the millennium. 63, in those days shall the mighty and the kings who possess the earth implore him to grant them a little respite from his angels of punishment, to whom they were delivered, that they might fall down and worship before the Lord of spirits, and confess their sins before him. And they shall bless and glorify the Lord of spirits, and say, Blessed is the Lord of spirits, and the Lord of kings, and the Lord of the mighty, and the Lord of the rich, and the Lord of the glory, and the Lord of wisdom. And splendid in everything is thy power, from generation to generation, and thy glory forever and ever. Deep are all thy secrets and innumerable, and thy righteousness is beyond reckoning. We have now learned that we should glorify and bless the Lord of kings, and him who is king over kings. And they shall say, would that we rest to glorify and give thanks, and confess our faith before his glory. And now we long for a little rest, but find it not. We follow hard upon and obtain it not. And light has vanished from before us, and darkness is our dwelling place forever and ever. So in the end, on Christ's return, everybody's going to confess that that is God, Lord of Lords, King of Kings. That is him. But during the millennium, those who have a choice or have never heard the truth will be tested. Again, I was telling you that, but it's many people are going to fall away, especially when the Antichrist, Satan, comes back in. So they will go with Satan again or choose that side. For we have not believed before him, nor glorified the name of the Lord of spirits, nor glorified our Lord. But our hope was in the scepter of our kingdom and in our glory. And in the day of our suffering and tribulation, he saves us not, and we find no respite for confession that our Lord is true in all his works, and his judgment and his justice, and his judgments have no respect of persons. So God is not a respecter of man. It's really what's in your heart and what you do. So, and he sees everybody equal. I mean, yeah, he divides them up, the good and the bad. But at this point, you can change from either side, hopefully more over to the right. But at this point, we got the dividing, and it's growing apart for what is coming. And we pass away from before his face on account of our works. See? On account of your works. Gotta get this. This is Aaron from St. George, Utah. I was directed to you by my aunt, who is an elect also. Which I have a few of in my immediate family. I love your talks, and oh, thank you. Yeah, there's a lot of wonderful teachers out there if you can find them. And no, I was told that I have to teach, and I'm being delivered up, kind of giving the last warning. I was the last warning, I guess. So I'm here doing what I'm supposed to do, and I'm glad that people are listening, because this is coming to pass. Okay, and all our sins are reckoned up in the righteousness. So they persecuted the rich. The righteous. They killed all the prophets. The Kenites did. Now, and they're going to try and kill us spiritually when we're delivered up, but we're not going to do that. Now they shall say unto themselves, our souls are full of unrighteous gain, but it does not prevent us from descending from the midst thereof into the burden of Sheol. And after that, their faces shall be filled with darkness and shame before that Son of Man, and they shall be driven from his presence, and the sword shall abide before his face in their midst. Thus spake the Lord of spirits. This is the ordinances and judgment with respect to the mighty and the kings and the exalted and those who possess the earth before the Lord of spirits. And those forms I saw hidden in that place. I heard the voice of the angel saying, these are the angels who descended to the earth and revealed what was hidden to the children of men, and seduced the children of men into committing sin. The fallen angels, chapter 65. And in those days Noah saw the earth, that it had sunk down, and its destruction was nigh. And he rose from thence and went to the ends of the earth, and cried aloud to his grandfather Enoch. And Noah said 3 times with an embittered voice, hear me, hear me, hear me. And I said unto him, tell me, what is it that is falling out on the earth, that the earth is in such evil plight and shaken, lest perchance I shall perish with it? And thereupon there was a great commotion on the earth, and a voice from heaven, heard from heaven, and I fell on my face. And Enoch, my grandfather, came and stood by me, and said unto me, why hast thou cried unto me with a bitter cry and weeping? And a command has gone forth from the presence of the Lord concerning those who dwell on the earth, that their ruin is accomplished, because they have learned all the secrets of the angels. and all the violence of the Satan's evil spirits, those who are the fallen angels, and all their powers, the most secret ones, and all the powers of those who practice sorcery, and the power of witchcraft, and the power of those who make molten images for the whole earth, and how silver is produced from the dust of the earth, and how soft metal originates in the earth. For lead and tin are not produced from the earth like the first. It is a fountain that produces them, and an angel stands therein, and that angel is uh, preeminent. And after that, my grandfather Enoch took hold of me by my hand and raised me up and said unto me, Go, for I have asked the Lord of spirits as touching this commotion on the earth. And he said unto me, Because their unrighteousness, their judgment has been determined upon and shall be withheld by me forever, because of the sorceries which they have searched out and learned. The earth and those that dwell upon it shall be destroyed. And these they have no place of repentance forever, because they have shown them what was hidden, and they are damned. But as thee, my son, the Lord of spirits, knows that thou art pure and guiltless of the reproach concerning the secrets, and he has destined thy name to be among the holy, and will preserve thee amongst those who dwell on the earth, and has destined thy righteous seed both by kinship and for great honors, and for thy seed shall proceed a fountain of righteousness and holy without number forever. Okay, 66. This looks really familiar, like we have actually gone over that. Do. Through 29. I think. Sorry about this. It looks really familiar, but it might just be me. But I'm just going to read it anyway. It doesn't matter. Let's see. Let's see. Hi, Aaron. I also have a very deep, disturbing past, and within the past 6 months, my intuition is very keen, and God is within me. That's keeps fading. And wanted to thank you for your teachings. Oh, you're welcome, Aaron. Thank you, Daniel. I'm glad I can help. Seriously. You don't know how much that, really makes me feel, because, to know that people are getting something out of this. Okay. Chapter 66. Ugh, getting a little tired. And after that, he showed me the angels of punishment, who are prepared to come and let loose all the powers of the waters which are beneath in the earth, in order to bring judgment and destruction on all who abide and dwell on the earth. And the Lord of spirits gave commandment to the angels who were going forth, that they should not cause the waters to rise, but should hold them in check. For those angels were over the powers of the waters, and went away from the presence of Enoch. So in Revelation, we're going to find it isn't the waters but it is the four winds that break loose. Judgment is coming. It's so that's, that's what's a little bit different from the time of Noah and in the end times. But these fallen angels are coming back, and they'll be teaching the same things. And whether how far they've come with the technology and things like that, portals will be opened up. I mean, that is definitely from heaven down here. This is how the angels, how we, when we die, how we get up to heaven. But it sounds like there's just a bunch of these types of portals, and they snuck through the back. Okay, chapter 67. In those days the word of God came unto me, and he said unto me, Noah, thy lot has come up before me, a lot without blame, a lot of love and of righteousness. And now the angels are making a wooden building. And when they have completed that task, I will place my hand upon it and preserve it. Isn't that interesting? The angels have made the boat. So maybe he didn't have to make it at all. Maybe he helped with it, but... And there shall come forth from it the seed of life, and a change shall set in, so that the earth will not remain without inhabitants. So he, his family, and I will make fast thy seed before me forever and ever, and I will spread abroad those who dwell with me. It shall not be unfruitful on the face of the earth, but it shall be blessed and multiply on the earth in the name of the Lord. So it's not the destruction of the earth or from people. And he will imprison those angels who have shown unrighteousness in that burning valley which my grandfather Enoch have formerly shown me in the west among the mountains of gold and silver and iron and soft metal and tin. And I saw the valley in which there was a great convulsion and convulsions of the water. And when all this took place, from that fiery molten metal, from the convulsion thereof, in that place there was produced a smell of sulfur, and it was connected with those waters in that valley of the angels who had led astray mankind, burned beneath that land. And through its valley proceeded streams of fire, where these angels are punished, who had led astray those who dwell upon the earth. But those waters shall in those days serve for the kings and the mighty and the exalted, and those who dwell on earth, for the healing of the body, but for the punishment of the spirit. Now their spirit is full of lust, that they may be punished in their body, for they have denied the Lord of spirits. Let's see. And see their punishment daily, and yet believe not in his name. And in proportion as the burning of their bodies becomes severe, a corresponding change shall take place in their spirit forever and ever. Well, they're going to be blotted out of existence. For before the Lord of spirits, none shall utter an idle word. So he doesn't just say things to say things. It's like, this is going to happen. For the judgment shall come upon them, because they believe in the lust of their body and deny the Spirit of the Lord. And those same waters will undergo a change in those days. For when those angels are punished in these water springs shall change their temperature. And when the angels ascend, this water of the spring shall change and become cold. Now that's interesting, how we have the North and South Pole, they're frozen. And I heard Michael answering, saying, this judgment wherewith the angels are judged is a testimony for the kings and mighty who possess the earth, because these waters of judgment minister to the healing of the body of the kings and the lust of their body. Therefore, they will not see and will not believe that those waters will change and become fire, which burns forever. Okay, chapter 68. Yeah, I don't think I can go for another 20 minutes. We'll go. Let's just keep going. I gotta see. Let's see. Let's see. Aaron, what is your opinion on the deadly wound? I'm thinking the battle between Jacob and Esau, the two nations battling in their mother's womb. The fatal wound to the beast head is when the New World Order, they're going to get set up really quickly. And we're seeing that set up now. But what it is that it fails. And what I had seen over in Babylon, the other side of the Euphrates from Israel, they'll be fighting the Muslims together. Satan himself will be like causing that commotion. And so this fighting will escalate. And in that time, I believe Enoch will be in there with the Muslims in the Catholic Church. And he's going to get martyred. The two witnesses will also be coming around the same time. So the beast system will crash, but it will quickly come up because he's going to fix the wound. He's going to give the peace treaty and a world peace treaty, and he's going to create the one world order, which means there's a one world political system, a one world economic, a one world education, and a one world religion. So Satan will be over all that. But the world will actually reunite. But the topping of the cake is when Satan himself declares him. This new world order right now, I believe, like the Pope or the Vatican will try to say that they're the religion. Let's see. And then the Antichrist, sorry. Let me get up there. Let's see, and then the Antichrist declares himself as Jesus to heal the wound. Yeah, first you'll see the, when the peace treaty, and everybody will marvel and say, nobody's been able to do that before. But the people will think it's the second coming. Yeah, people are going to think, especially when that celestial body crosses over, it is going to kind of look like it. But those who are unlearned aren't really going to understand. They're going to, because when Satan comes in and fixes the world's problems, including a peace treaty where it's never been before, then you're going to have like the frog spirits coming out of the Euphrates and going in the group, influencing these people. So they'll unite. The world will unite. Everybody will become one, regardless of where you live, but the leaders and everything like that. Satan will set down 10 of the fallen angels over different areas of the world to rule. It'll be done away with men kings and things like that. It will be Satan's little helpers, the fallen angels. And in Daniel, it really talks about that a lot. But All right, guys, you know what? I think what I'm going to do, because it's almost been 2 hours, and I know my throat is kind of blah. I'm going to have to get on here on Sunday and finish this up. And, yeah, it's just, I know, I could go on for hours, but my throat can't. Mm. Yeah, he will declare himself priest to king priest. So he's over everything, and he is the one to be worshipped. Like Christ's role during the millennium, he's going to be the king priest. And then you're going to have the 7,000 who are the Zadok. He's like Melchizedek, and that's also in the Old Testament. He has been popping in and out all the time through in the Old Testament, but in the millennium, he will be that. Yeah, the peace treaty is short-lived. There is never any peace, really, unless Christ is here. What do you think about Obama? Could he be some kind of Obama? They give him too much credit. He was here to let all the sleeper cells and things that we're seeing now, the radical people, come in to destabilize the country. Right, Aaron. There's a place in the Bible. It's in the Old Testament. I believe it's Amos. It says that's who they are. Yeah, you're right, Deb. Obama wasn't that important, but he was important into setting up lawlessness, setting up the different rights for special groups and things like that. Yeah, see that, because many people are saying they have dreams of him. Oh, no, he's not. He is a type of Antichrist. You know, anybody who is against Christ is an Antichrist. So Antichrist just means instead of Christ. So Satan is the Antichrist because he's coming in instead of Christ. And everybody's going to think that it's Christ. So, and that, you know, but we'll be ready. We're going to see right through it. And I am just like, I will be so ready to get this over with. But think of your rewards. And next week, you will find out your rewards in Revelation chapter 2 and 3. You're going to see your rewards. And, you know, anytime you think, oh man, this is just so hard, I don't think I can do it. Just go, no, my rewards are in heaven. I can do this. And God gives you strength. Yeah. And you know what I'm hoping for? I'm hoping for that at the beginning of the millennium, we get to sit at this long table, the white tablecloth and beautiful silverware and everything. I hope that we get to sit by each other. I really want that, so we can talk and say, hey, so how did it end up with you? What happened? And that's where you sit at this table and your enemies get to see you. And it's like, kind of like, the Pope is playing a major role for the Antichrist. Yes, exactly. And that's before Satan gets here, the role of the Vatican now is to pull in all of the religions together, especially the denominational churches, and say, well, they're the leader and they're going to be the one making all the decisions. So he's going to be the one who's going to be like spokesperson for the earth. He's gonna like do the warning, like before the celestial body crosses, he's gonna be making the announcements. And you're gonna see him playing a huge role. So when you start seeing the Pope coming out, and making all these types of announcements and stuff, just know, yeah, it's the planet X or whatever it is. I don't think it's a planet. I think it's a star, some sort of star, but you won't be able to see it until it's upon us. And like the day it comes. So that's going to be super interesting. And hopefully the destroyer, yeah. And that's also one of Satan's names, the destroyer. So it goes well with the sixth trump, sixth seal, and sixth vial. That's for sure. I don't know, guys. We're going to be ready, though. We are going to be so ready. Because, like, we've already got through Enoch, almost. Oh, I guess I'll just, because it makes it easier for people, I'll get on at 3 on Sunday and just finish up the chapter and then do just kind of go over what we're going to go on Monday with Revelation. See how far, as far as just getting you kind of prepared for it. Anyway. I hope you guys have your heads filled, like full and bursting. And I love that feeling when it's just like, oh my gosh. It just feels like it's so much. And then you just kind of just feel it. Feel the burn. Exercising knowledge and wisdom. Okay, guys. Well, I will get back to you then on Sunday at 3 Pacific time, and then headed into Monday full bore. All right, you guys take care of yourselves. All right, see you soon.